You've landed here in the countdown to summer. It is day 2, actually day 3, but we're calling it 2 today. We went 4, 3, and now we're going 2. Let me review just a little bit if you missed this a couple days ago. Day 4, what I'm calling day 4, we said 4 gauges to help us stay focused on our emotional life, our physical life, our relational life, and our spiritual life. And if you didn't catch that, I think it was Tuesday we dropped it. I hope you'll go back and check that out. Yesterday I gave you 3 books. We talked about reading 3 books this summer. As you go into summer, about to head to June 1st here. I guess Monday next week will be first week of June, and we're there. So as you go into June, July, and August, I want to challenge you to read those 3 books. Again, talked about this yesterday, gave you some examples, but I want a relevant book, I want a fiction book, and I want an old book on my reading list. And so I hope you'll join me on that. And today I want to give us what I'm going to call 2 prayers. Now, I mentioned a couple of days ago that the spiritual gauge in our life is an important gauge. And I think sometimes we're running on empty spiritually. And what I mean by that is our soul is just not healthy. It's not vibrant. It's not, I've got a friend of mine, really a mentor of mine. He always told me, don't write checks with your mouth that your soul can't cash. And so this guy's kind of crazy, man. He's explaining to me, basically, you need to have the moral capacity, the character inside to deliver what you're saying on the outside. And I think sometimes we forget how important it is to take care of our soul, our spiritual side of life. And so today I want to give you 2 prayers. Now, you may be pushing back real quick and saying, I don't pray. I don't do that. And that's okay. You get to decide if you want to do that or not. But for those who don't pray, I've had conversations before, and it's amazing how many times when we don't seek help from our Creator, that our lives really don't work. In fact, they don't work. They don't work even if we are praying. A lot of times it's like there'd be a mess, total mess if we didn't pray. But even when we do pray, sometimes we get in the way and get it wrong. And so I would say for all of us who have faith and you do believe in God, maybe you have a relationship with Jesus. It's so important to me. I want to encourage you today to consider these 2 prayers. I always tell my friends who tell me they don't pray, how's it working out for you to do it on your own? And so many times they come back and say, it's not working out. I mean, it's not, I may not believe but what I'm doing is not working. And so I just ask you to give it a try, to give it some thought, and to ask yourself, do you really want to be the authority in your life? And I understand it's hard to lead yourself and all that stuff, but the reality is there's a God and you're not him. And so I want to remind you today of that. And I want to challenge you to consider these 2 prayers. And these are prayers that are pretty simple. I'm a pretty simple guy, but I think these 2 prayers are going to help me. And these are prayers that I'm praying as I go into this summer. A couple of prayers I'm going to be asking God to help me with. So here's the first one. It's just simply, help me stop. And you say, stop what? The reality is you get to fill in the blank. Like, what you get to stop what you want to stop, or you get to ask for help to stop what you need to stop. But I'm guessing every single person listening, you have some habits in your life that you wish you could stop. You have some destructive patterns. You have some thoughts maybe that you shouldn't be thinking. You have some motives that are not right. You have some stuff going on in your life that you need to stop. You've been meaning to stop. Your intentions are to stop, but you maybe haven't asked heaven for help. God, will you help me stop? And there's an old verse I love. It, for a person of faith especially, it says that it is God who is at work in you, both to will and to work his good pleasure. In other words, if you do have faith and you do have that desire in you, it was put in you by God to do the right thing. And it says that he will actually even help you. He will will that. He'll give you the desire, but he'll also work that in you. You've got to do the work. I get that, but God gives you the strength to do what you need to do and to overcome what you need to overcome. And I was just with a guy this last weekend, and he was talking about he had an addiction and was talking about how he had gone to he started going to his meetings and how he was getting better. And it's like he had to do the right thing, but he needed help to stop what he was trying to stop. And so I don't know what your situation is. Again, it may be a habit, it may be a thought pattern, it may be an attitude. Is there something that you need to stop? If you're going to make progress and become the person that you know you need to stop, I challenge you to pray and say, God, help me to stop. Now, here's the second prayer. These are cousins, right? These two prayers are cousins. Help me to stop. God, help me to start. Help me to start. And again, you probably say, start what? And I would say, you get to decide, what do you need to start right now? But I'm betting there's some things that you have had intentions about. You know you need to start. You know you need a new habit. You know you need a new rhythm, a new pattern, a new routine, maybe a new schedule. And yet you've not asked God to help you start. You want to, but you haven't asked for help. And I'm going to dare you here to pray and ask for help and to focus on whatever it is, taking a step. And if you will, I believe you can make progress. And it is, I said yesterday, I was going to give you 2 things that might transform your life. I believe that it is possible in 3 months from now, if you pray this prayer every day, help me to start, help me with whatever it is I'm doing that's right. If you'll do that, you can have a totally different outlook on life, pattern in life, mindset, habit, rhythm, whatever. When you go into the fall, your life can be radically different if you will just begin to pray those prayers and take steps. You do what you can do and then ask God to do what only he can do. And I think you're going to be on your way here. So 4 gauges, 3 books, and 2 prayers so far in our countdown to summer. I hope you'll take those 2 prayers today. Take them to heart, take them to God, really, and ask him, help me to stop this, help me to start that. And I think you'll be surprised at what might happen if you'll just begin to pray that simple prayer, those 2 simple prayers every day. All right. Love you guys. Hope you'll continue to share with your friends and family. We're growing. Downloads are growing. It's been really cool to hear some stories so far, just these first few weeks. And I hope you'll help us continue to share what we're doing here. We think it's important. Hopefully you're finding some value in it, some specific things that you can do to help you win beyond work. Remember, winning begins at home.